You guys having fun?
Yeah.
Where are you? Must be getting up towards 7 o'clock at night, but still lots of people at the beach. Even birds are still enjoying the beach tonight. I thought this was kind of picturesque, all the boats going on the other side of the jetty into harbor for the night at St. Joe. Tall spires of sailboats. A lot of boats are coming in now. It's getting later and later. From our little tent campsite, there was a horse out here earlier today, but I don't see him. Through this pasture. And this is where we are today. And there's our picnic table and our car that we're sleeping in, and I bought Clay this nice little tent which we're borrowing for his prize. It's back behind these trees here on this tent campground. Of course, we do have neighbors. We even have a bunny neighbor. These are all new people since we left this morning. And Mrs. Bunny. To these little cabins down here. This one in particular for tomorrow night. I hope it's nice. Saugatuck, right? This spot right here where my father had his boat moored, that he took people out in this river, down this river, the Kalamazoo River, and out into Lake Michigan when I was only about 12, I suppose, or so. And this was the spot. It's different and changed now, but I wanted to get at least a picture of the spot. Street from that spot where Joanne and I used to like to walk up to the little town. It's grown a lot. Basically, the size of the town here, the main part is the same. The old town with the old buildings and stuff, but we used to go up and go to the drugstore, get some ice cream, walk around the streets. It was kind of fun. It's a real tourist town now, very up and coming. And here's a picture of my mother. She was here too, with us, going on the boat, and we really had a good time. It lasted a couple summers that he did this. We had a good time. Here we are at the blueberry farm again. A few days later, I didn't have a chance to take a video. The house is run down, but this is the house that my great-grandfather Aspengren built, that Uncle Fred and Annie Florence lived in, and I visited for years. This is the blueberry farm. There's blueberries here right now, which Uncle Fred grew, but not these on this side of the road. This side of the road two sides of the driveway, which looked very nice then, of course, had evergreen trees and ornamentals. That's what he grew. The horse barn on the farm, the blueberry farm. The cow barn's been torn down, but this was the horse barn, where my mother's house was. And she was 13 on up through a teenager and young woman till she married my father. These trees here stood on the property, the very trees that my mother probably had pictures taken by. Is the weeping willow, through these weeping willows is the farmhouse that her grandfather built. He only lived in it 3 months and then died, because he was quite old then. There's the original blueberries that some of the original ones that Uncle Fred planted. Sleeping here in this house with my grandmother, Jenny, at night and listening to the whippoorwills in the distance of the country making their sound. To be Uncle Walt Aspengren's farm, just a few miles down from the blueberry farm. This building here and this one are original buildings, the barn, and the house is too. It's got a pretty little yard here on the corner, except somebody else lives there and they've modernized the looks of the house. To Havana, Illinois, at the Illinois River going toward Carthage. Ended up, the bridge was out, so we're having to take the ferry across the Illinois River. If you can see this, we're in line to try to get onto the ferry. Going across the Illinois River. We would have been going across that bridge, but it's out. So this has been a little bit of a different kind of thing to do today. The 8th of July, and we are now on the Mississippi River. There's some type of construction and stuff that direction, but the sun is shining across over to Iowa, and down this way is where Nauvoo is. We're almost there. We went there last night for a bonfire, a campfire with all the missionary couples, which was a lot of fun, singing and dancing and having a lot of fun. And this morning now we're ready to go to Nauvoo and see what there is to see. So this is the banks of the Mississippi on the Illinois side, and the picture I'm taking is looking out over the Iowa side. And down this way is Nauvoo. It's remarkable to think that the saints crossed here, right here, from one side to the other in that cold February. I think it was 1843, I'm not sure. The river was full of ice and freezing. So we're thankful to be here and trying to have a good time. Now here we are at the Nauvoo Temple site. It's up on this hill. Here's the temple site. It was built up on the hill overlooking the city of Nauvoo and the Mississippi River. And as you can see, there's the river. So we're pretty high up here. Of course, there was nothing here then. This is a monastery, a Catholic monastery. all trees and forests and things here then. So the view from here after they cut or maybe there was nothing here, no trees, I don't know, but there's probably a beautiful sight of the Mississippi River you could see straight through from the temple at that time. Now down this way is the newer Nauvoo, which is also old. And there's old buildings down there, but they're not from the era of old Nauvoo. They're a little newer, but old themselves. Now, and this is the temple, the site of the Nauvoo temple. The foundation, which is still here, is clearly visible. And it's really an inspiration to see this, and it would have been wonderful to be able to see the temple still standing, but of course it was burned by mobs, and then a high wind like a tornado came through after that and destroyed the rest, which perhaps was the hand of God. This is a beautiful block right here in Nauvoo with flowers and things. Kendra and Kelly are off looking around. This morning, having fun.
They keep on breaking. Well, I guess we'll have to get some more ones.
A facsimile of the temple itself and what it looked like, shining brightly in the sun from the Mississippi River. What a sight it would have been if going down the river in a boat to be able to see this temple up on the hill, shining brightly as a testimony to the church and to Jesus Christ and the true church. They have beautiful flowers here in these gardens. These flowers are right here. Of course, the church always does a wonderful job with their grounds and flowers. To this, 1998. Sunstone from the temple